Howdy, partner. So you want to learn how to know if a 2018 Sun Tracker Fishin Barge 20 DLX is right for you? Well, you're in luck. I'm going to show you today. Today we're going to do a quick walk around and then talk a little bit about this Fishin Barge 20 DLX and tell you some of the pros and cons and just show it to you. So before we get started, if you can, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate the subscribers to keep pushing out more videos. And do me a favor, put in the comments, what do you want to see? Why are you watching this? Are you a current owner? Are you looking at it? What questions do you have? And I will get right back to you. So thanks for subscribing, and let's get started. We'll start by looking at the front of the trailer. This is the Sun Tracker trailer that comes from either Sun Tracker or Bass Pro Shops, wherever you buy it. It is a really nice trailer. It has emergency braking, and then it also has this nice built-in ladder. The clearance under the trailer is really high and easy to get under here and work. We're probably looking at about 4 feet. It's also, you can see the finish underneath is going to be a pressure treated plywood, and then they protect all the wires and all that. Do a real nice job. And you have these large pontoons on both sides and the sponson in the back for the engine. Moving around, you have your navigation lights as well as 4 cleats. This is the side. Here on this side, these weird shields I actually put in the front, and they block it because this is taller than a fence. The total height on this boat is probably about 9 feet tall. An average fence is only 6 feet or so. So these two go ahead and block it for the neighbors, which you really can't tell from the street. So coming around here, tandem axle trailer. You also have a second ladder in the back. You can climb both of these when it is either on the trailer or in the water. And then you have the clearance in the back. This particular boat has a 90 horsepower Mercury. It's a really nice engine, very quiet 4-stroke. And then also it has a GPS depth finder chart plotter. I will say, if you look at this, you need a considerable depth to launch this boat. If you have shallow ramps to a local lake, you might have an issue. You need to get about halfway up these tunes to be able to float it. So I'm not exactly sure, but you're looking at a few feet to realistically launch this boat. So we'll make our way up through the back, kind of go back to front. So it does have the nice bimini top. I'm not going to open that right now, but it's super easy. It lifts up, it's a gas strut assisted, and it opens up really nice, very easy to use. On the Fishin Barge 20, you have a seat back here that turns around, as well as a live well. And then you also have your battery. What's also nice is this rear deck to jump into the water or do whatever. All the gates are the same. You lift them and set them down. They've got this lip in here where they won't go forward or backward unless they're lifted. And then they also have locks on them for the children that go ahead and go in. So they're very, very safe and very secure. Back here, you have this nice, very comfortable lounger, as well as a captain's chair. Here's your console. We're rated at 10 persons or 1,370 pounds. You have your trim tilt. If you want to idle this higher than neutral, you hit that button and that lets you go to idle it, but don't really rev it up when you're idling. It's not a good idea. And then you have all your buttons, your horn, your aerator, navigation lights, courtesy lights. It does have some nice lights underneath all of these areas that shine at night and give it a nice glow ambiance. You also have speakers through this Jensen speaker system, and there's storage under here. This one is pre-wired for a trolling motor. Underneath these, you have storage. It's supposed to be self-draining as long as it's angled properly. This is lockable storage. And here you have a table that actually comes out and fits onto a post and makes it to where you can have a very nice seating area right here. If you're just cruising, not doing fishing, it goes right here and it swivels in circles. Then you have these really nice stowaway compartments, which are great for, you know, bags, purses, personal belongings of guests, all that. A huge amount of room, huge amount of room. Up here you have another stowaway compartment. Then you have another live well. This here goes ahead and gives you another cup holder. Velcros in. You have 2 seats. This one's pre-wired for trolling motor. You have these nice fishing rod and other holders everywhere. All these seats swivel. Your front door, and then there's also a side door. This one is actually wheelchair accessible, which is really nice. So you can fit pretty much anybody through that. And then this opens up, and when it flips open, there's actually what can be used as a changing room. This part here lifts up, and then you connect that thing to it, and basically you can make a changing room, or I guess a restroom or something. So close that up, and I'll kind of show you again from the front of the boat to the back. Really, really spacious. It's a 20-foot, but I think a little over 8-foot wide deck, and then the total length of the boat is about 22 feet. So very clean, moves pretty good. You know, with this 90, it'll do high 20s, maybe low 30s, but I don't think I've had that fast. And really comfortable. Well, now that we've gone ahead and taken a look at the whole boat, let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons. You know, first and foremost, the obvious initial pro is that this is comfortable. This is called a fishing barge for a reason. It's like a barge. I mean, you walk side to side, it doesn't rock, it doesn't move. It holds 10 people, 1,370 pounds. With these high rails around it, the thing's like a giant pack and play for kids. They can't get out, they can't hurt themselves. It's a really comfortable ride, whether you're fishing or just cruising or whatever. Go to sandbar, you can't beat it for comfort. It's also pretty easy to trailer, launch, and load. The way that the trailer is made, it sort of self-rights itself on those pontoons, so loading it's really easy. Launching it's easy as well. I talked about you need a decent depth of water to launch it in, but as long as you've got decent depth, it floats right out. Trailering, I think it's about 4,000 pounds. It's not overly heavy for its size. It's actually lighter than any other boat that would be this size. So, and the price point for a boat this size is really another pro. You know, in terms of cons, it's a pontoon boat. They're not going to be the fastest thing on the water. You can definitely tube behind this, and you can have a good time, and you can go, like I said, high 20s, but you're not going to set any, you know, water records in this. You know, I talk again about it. You need decent ramp access. Not really a negative, just something, you know, to look at. And probably the biggest con is I like to keep it covered, and it was covered, you know, just to keep all the leaves off of it and keep the sun, the UV off of this vinyl to keep it all clean. That is one more pro. It's a vinyl floor. It's really easy to keep clean, not carpet anymore like the old days. But, you know, keeping it covered all the time, it can be tricky. I mean, it's a big boat, so you got to set up the cover. You got to try to make sure the water doesn't pool anywhere. You got to look at the leaves, and you know, it's just something you have to do if you want to keep it in good shape. If you're using it a lot, here it's sort of shaded a little bit. It sort of works, but I always keep it covered, and that's probably the biggest negative. Just it's tall, and you got to deal with that. But anyhow, thanks for watching. Again, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think, and if you want me to put out any more videos. So, have a good one.